Good evening, fans. Welcome to Game 3 of the Intercity Baseball League Championship Series between the Lexington Bulldogs and the Lexington Blue Sox. Please rise, if able, and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
From Morelli Field at Melrose High School, Melrose, Mass. This is Blue Sox Baseball in the Intercity League Championship Series here on LSP. Tonight, Game 3 of this best-of-5 finals of the Lexington Blue Sox, up 2-0 on the Lexington Bulldogs, and looking to close out their 17th Intercity League Championship and first since 2021. Good evening, everybody. Sam Feely here with you, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. Nothing has come easy in this series for the Blue Sox. A 8-7 victory in extra innings after blowing a 5-run lead in the 7th in Game 1, and then squeaking by with a 2-0 lead, 2-0 victory last night, with both runs coming in the 4th inning for the Blue Sox on a fielder's choice off the bat of DVZ, and then a RBI single by Pat Casserly, and the pitching duo of Matt Draper and Ryan O'Rourke hit and walked 4 batters in a span of 6 batters in the 6th and 7th innings, but they got out of Dodge and secured a 2-0 lead for the Blue Sox.
On the mound tonight for the Blue Sox, number 40, Chris Wanick.
And the Blue Sox will look to close out and hand the ball to their co-ace, Chris Wanick. Wanick got the win in Game 1 of the American Series, went 5 innings and allowed 4 hits, 1 run, did not walk anybody, and struck out only 1 and hit 1 batter. Kind of an odd pitching line for Chris Wanick, who, in fairness, he's not a massive strikeout guy. In the regular season, he only had 18 in 25 and 2/3 innings, but now in his 3rd year with the Blue Sox, he's never had more than 24 strikeouts in a season, and has never averaged more than a strikeout per inning. Hasn't even averaged 4/5 of a strikeout per inning in his ICL regular season career, or in the postseason, just barely over 0.8 strikeouts per innings last year in 3 postseason appearances. But now looking to close out the Blue Sox first title since 2021 and their 17th overall. Jaden Vellis, Brett Stone, and Nick Favazzo will lead things off here in the top of the first for the Lexington Bulldogs. Here once again is Tim Lynch.
Now batting, the second baseman, Jaden Vellis.
Jaden Vellis at second, Brett Stone at third, Nick Favazzo in center, Seamus Condon at first, Matt Favazzo at short, Vince Libretto the DH, Shane Costello in left, Emilio Burnt is the extra hitter, Jay Voica behind the plate, and Mike Siebert in right, rounding out the 10-man lineup for the Lexington Bulldogs, sent out there by manager Eric Steinkraus in the Bulldogs' second ever appearance in the ICL Finals. First pitch coming at you, 8:04 in there, 4-1. We're underway, says friend of the program Sam Finn. Significantly cooler than it was last night. Might not even be 70 degrees right now at first pitch. Fouled off the other way. It is 0-2. Want it? Fast worker, even faster than Draper. 63 degrees at first pitch. And Velas able to spoil that one, keep the AB alive. Velas 2 for 12 with 1 RBI and 2 walks in 4 postseason games so far. 0-2 once again from Want. Outside, 1-2. Well, you can't expect immaculate innings the whole way through, but you can't dilly-dally with your opposition. Got to come after them at some point, and that was one of the things that really dragged out the innings for the Blue Sox on defense last night, and has been kind of a problem much of the season. The inability to get clean innings, put batters away once you get them to 2 strikes. Too many walks for the Blue Sox pitching staff's own good, and you can bend but not break only for so long. So after conversation between Want and Luke Maltasea, and Rick DeAngelis coming out asking Sammy Finn what's going on, does not appear to be something of utmost importance, but important enough that Rick was wondering what was going on. 1-2. Lined on one hop, too short. Atiles up the line, but able to keep his foot on the bag doing the big stretch is Pat Casserly for out number 1.
Now batting, the third baseman, Brett Stone.
I don't blame Atiles pulling up on that one. Off the bat, looked like it was going to line right into his glove. The hop made it that much harder when it sank just a foot in front. That was a very short hop they had to handle, but he does so. And now here is former Blue Sox Brett Stone. Stoney takes on the outside corner for strike 1, slashing .308, 400, .385 this postseason in 13 ABs, 1 double and 1 ribby. Bounces to the plate, and it'll be 1-1. Again, this is the Bulldogs' second ever appearance in the ICL Finals. The first came in 2017 and also ended in a sweep against the Blue Sox. Will it be same song, different verse here? Or will the Bulldogs force Game 4 tomorrow night? 1-2. First world problems indeed to be scratching for your first title since 2021, but that's the spot the Blue Sox are in. Another high bounce to short, and Atiles says, well, I'm going to hang on to this one. The tricky hop was too much that time. He didn't even make the throw, and Stoney is aboard.
Now batting, the center fielder, Nick Pavazzo.
So a couple of tough hops on the first 2 batted balls of the evening. Atiles able to handle the first one, second one not so much. And now here is Nick Favazzo, who has driven in 9 of the Bulldogs' 21 runs this postseason. Swings at the first pitch, pops it up on the right side, and Jimenez catches it for out number 2.
Now batting, the first baseman, Seamus Condon.
Here's Seamus Condon, making his 4th appearance of the postseason, 4 for 9 with 4 RBIs, 2 walks to 1 strikeout, and 1 stolen base. Want it with a look at first, and delivers. Hit the other way towards the corner and left, but that will slice foul. Long strike 1. Condon in the regular season / 333, 407, 500 in 10 games, 24 ABs, 1 double, 1 homer, and 8 ribbies. Was 1 for 3 with an RBI and a walk in his lone appearance against the Blue Sox in the regular season. That came on July 28th. Reaches for that one, fouls that one off. That was nowhere near the zone, and Condon spoiled it, and he's behind 0-2 on a pitch that I don't know if Maltasea would have gotten to. You could have a runner at second in a 1-1 count potentially here. Best case scenario for the Bulldogs. Instead, it's the worst case scenario. 0-2 with the runner still at first. Can want it, finish this one off. Condon chops this one again to the left side. This time it's Ramirez in time for the out that retires the side. Hey, what did I say? Nothing has come easy this postseason for the Blue Sox. And even a relatively clean inning, just the single and nothing more beyond that. Had a little more drama than you might expect, but after half an inning, Bulldogs nothing, and the Blue Sox coming up. LSP and Shipping Shield are partners in card. Shipping Shields are the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly. Made in the U.S. and Canada on 100% recyclable cardboard. Use the link and codes on the screen or in the description for a discount on your order. You may receive a commission from those orders, but we thank you for your continued support of whatever this is. And this is Alec Peruzzi getting the call for the start of Game 3 to try and keep the Bulldogs season alive.
On the mound for the Bulldogs, number 6, Alec Peruzzi.
Peruzzi making his second appearance of the postseason. Got the win on August 12th against the Mad Dogs. Went 6 1/3 innings, allowed 5 hits, 6 earned runs, walked 6, and struck out 8. That was a game that the Bulldogs had to win by the skin of their teeth, much like the Blue Sox had to win each of the first 2 games of this championship series, because that was a game the Bulldogs won 8-7, and while it didn't go to extras, Malden scored 2 in the first, and then it was 4 each of the fourth and the fifth, that one, for the Bulldogs to get the 8-2 lead. The Mad Dogs scored 5 in the top of the 7th before finally Cooper Smith got the final 2 outs to send the Bulldogs to the finals. So Peruzzi, after the gut-wrenching win in the clincher in the semifinals, will make his first appearance of the year against the Blue Sox. He was 2-2 with 2 saves in 17 2/3 innings in the regular season and a .19 ERA with 35 Ks.
Now batting, the extra hitter, Brendan Jones.
And interestingly, that's a really good ERA, obviously 1.19, 17 2/3 innings, but he allowed 12 runs and only 3 of which were earned. So Brendan Jones, Jake McElroy, and Eric Ramirez leading things off here in the bottom of the first for the Lexington Blue Sox. First pitch to Jonesy is on the outside corner for strike 1. It is 0-1. Outside 1-1. Jones is 3 for 11 with 1 RBI and 2 walks this postseason. The Blue Sox as a team hitting .302. Two and one. Brendan Jones is the extra hitter. Will be followed by Jake McElroy in center, Eric Ramirez at third, Julian Alvarez is the DH. Outside corner, 2-2. Luis Atiles at short, Anderson Jimenez at second, Pat Casserly at first, Ryan Grundy in right, Owen McKiernan in left, and Luke Maltasea rounding out the 10-man order behind the plate. Down low, and the count is full to begin the ball game for the Blue Sox offense as Jones is at 3-2 with Peruzzi. Reaches for that one. Might have been ball 4. It's grounded to second. Off-balance throw is in time for out number 1. Nice play by Jaden Vela staying with that one.
Now batting, the center fielder, Jake McElroy.
Here's Jake McElroy getting the start in center again tonight. Most of his appearances in the outfield have been in right field, but no Nick Anderson available unless his flight back from Italy gets the Doug Mirabelli police detail treatment. 1-0 is the count to Mac. One and one. McElroy, 2 of 11 with 1 double and 1 walk. This is 4th game of the postseason. 1-1 is the count. And Peruzzi winds and delivers. High for a ball, be 2-1. No Will Norris in the lineup either tonight for the Blue Sox. Fouled off 2-2, and we're going to have to wait a moment as Jay Voyka got rattled by that one. The Blue Sox have 35 hits so far in this postseason. Voyka will stay in the game. He's a hockey player. And the bulk of them coming up in the next part of the order in Jimenez, Atiles, and Alvarez. Into the right center field gap, and that will be, oh my goodness, the Jaden Velez show continues. 2 down.
Now batting, the third baseman, Eric Ramirez.
Well, no chance, no rest for the weary, right? He's getting tested right away after having a fine defensive game last night. Factored into what? Half of the first 10 outs about? Was that a walk in the 3rd inning last night? Here's Eric Ramirez. Fouls off. He's quickly behind 0-2. Ramirez 1 for 8 in the postseason so far. Quickly behind 0-2. And time granted to Ramirez. He's the kind of guy, as you've seen on this here YouTube channel, he's like the fast worker, except he's a hitter. And he busts through that slump with a base hit through the left side to keep the inning going. He's just there to, just raring to go, and finally breaks out of this little schneid he's been on.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Julian Alvarez.
So here's Jules. 4 for 9, 1 homer, 2 ribbies, 4 walks, and 1 strikeout in another fantastic postseason for the Blue Sox veteran slugger. Broken back grounder to the right side, handled nicely at first by Seamus Condon for the out that retires the side. So both teams get a base hit in the first inning and nothing beyond that. After 1, no score. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $25 a spot, whether you want to promote a business, product, or event, or send a message of support to a player, team, or coach. Email yours truly for all the deets. Matt Favazzo, Vince Libretto, and Shane Costello. A very Italian three batters due up here to start the top of the second.
Now batting, the shortstop, Matthew Favazzo.
Favazzo, 2 for 11 with 4 walks and 3 runs in the postseason so far. Chris Wannett back to work for inning number 2. Both teams with a hit in the first inning, but nothing beyond that. First pitch swinging, popped up into right center, and Ryan Grundy hauls that one in. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Vince Libretto.
Libretto 1 for 9 with a couple of walks, but also 6 strikeouts. 1 run. His one hit is a double, and he has 1 RBI. He was on base twice last night with a walk and a hit by pitch. 1-0 is the count from Wannett to the designated hitter, Libretto. Swings to that one off the end of the bat into foul territory on the right side, and that is going to land out of play for strike 1, 1-1. Libretto, alumnus of my old stomping grounds, LHS. A Delaware fighting blue hen at that. Two and one. Delaware making the jump to FBS was not on my 2025 bingo card. A snare like that at third base from Eric Ramirez should be on everyone's, though. 2 down.
Now batting, the left fielder, Shane Costello.
So here's Shane Costello to try and keep the line moving. 3 for 11 with 2 ribbies this postseason, no walks and 4 Ks. Swing and a miss. Ramping up a little bit that time is Wannett. How bad do the Blue Sox want it? Foul in the screen, 0-2. How bad do they want that 17th ICL championship? First since 2021. You have to remember that the Blue Sox have never gone more than 3 seasons without an ICL title. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Shane Costello. Side retired, easy peasy 1-2-3-Z for Chris Wannett. $1.50 in the books. No score. When I say LSP is something for everyone since 2011, I by God mean it. Sports, live events, petsing, walking, tech help, errands, and a whole lot more. Find our Thumbtack page or Linktree LSP37 or email yours truly so we can proceed to give you what you need. We go to the bottom of the second. Way to dress for work, Alex.
Now batting, the shortstop, Luis Antilles.
It's Atiles, Jimenez, and Casserly due up for the Blue Sox. No score in the bottom of the second. Blue Sox on top of the Bulldogs 2-0 in this best of 5 ICL Championship Series. Up and away for ball 1 to Atiles. Blue Sox win, 17th ICL title, first since 2021. Bulldogs win, Game 4 right here tomorrow night. An appeal will not be granted, and it is 2-0 to Atiles. 5 for 10 with a double and 2 ribbies, continuing his breakout superstar season here with the Blue Sox into the postseason. Trying to make it 1-0 with one swing of the bat, came up empty, 2-1. Probably was also low. Oh! That hit him or no? It's just going to be 3-1. Coming in close enough to Atiles' hands that the sound it made off of Voika's mitt. You could easily interpret that as a foul ball, but Sam Finn saw it. It is a ball. It is 3-1, and that'll make it a full count. Well, this is something the Blue Sox struggled to do last night against Coley Schaefer at times, certainly in the early going, which was work the count. And that'll be up and in for ball 4, and you have to do that against a great pitcher like Schaefer.
Now batting, the second baseman, Anderson Jimenez.
But it's really a matter of will he let you. And Schaefer pitched a complete game, only allowed those 2 runs in the 4th, but that was all that the Blue Sox needed to squeak out the 2-0 victory last night and take the 2-0 lead in this series. So the Atiles drawing the leadoff walk. Here's Jimenez. And that misses inside for ball 1, and Peruzzi a little perturbed at that call. Outside, 2-0, and Voika trying to pull it back into frame, but no thank you, says Sammy Finn. 2-0. Jimenez 5 for 10 in his own right, 2 doubles, 1 RBI this postseason. Towering pop-up on the left side, and it will be caught by the shortstop, Matt Favazzo, for out number 1.
Now batting, the first baseman, Pat Casserly.
So here's Pat Casserly. RBI single last night as part of a 1 for 3. Team's leader in pinch hits and RBIs in the regular season. Starting each of the last 2 games, 1 for 6. With a couple of runs scored, and that one being the RBI single last night. That is low for a ball. It is 1-0. Into right center field, Atiles getting to second base, but now will have to retreat as that is tracked down for out number 2. Long run there for Nick Favazzo, but hauls it in.
Now batting, the right fielder, Ryan Grundy.
So here's Ryan Grundy making his first appearance of the postseason. In the regular season, /364, 423, 455. In 10 games, 22 ABs, 2 doubles, and 8 ribbies. And that'll be in there for a strike. It is 0-1 to Ryan. The Blue Sox getting a leadoff walk on a nice little grindy PA by Atiles, but unable to do much with it. Oh my goodness. Atiles got caught halfway in between decisions and bases, but eventually gets to second in the end as nobody was covering the bag for the throw from Voika. He put on the brakes. He started to retreat by the time the ball went into center field and then finally made it up there. So he's in scoring position. And now it's 2-1 hitters count for Ryan Grundy. Nearly came in and got him, and it is 3-1. Grundy played in only one game against the Bulldogs in the regular season, and he was 0 for 2 with a strikeout on July 7th. On the outside corner, 3-2. Grundy was just about to pitch the bat. You never do that. Never, ever do that. McKiernan on deck if Grundy can reach in the end, but payoff pitch from Peruzzi. We'll have to wait as he steps off a moment. Tiles at second after the delayed steal. He comes set, does Peruzzi. And the payoff pitch. Outside corner, strike 3 called, and the inning is over. Again, never assume you got ball 4, especially in that spot. We go to the third, still no score. The LSP store is open. Get yourself a DVD or digital copy of most past LSP video broadcasts, or one of several different designs of stickers, shirts, or other merch, including some stuff with my dog, Tina the Long Arena, on it, and some words I've probably said on this here YouTube channel over the years. Email yours truly for game videos, or go to Creative Spring for merch.
Now batting, the extra hitter, Emilio Burnt.
Oh, he did he? Tell him to turn down the oven next time. Burnt, Voika, and Siebert due up here in the top of the third. I'll be here all week, folks. Burnt, 2 for 10 with 1 RBI this postseason. Swings at the first pitch, and that is a fair ball. That's what announcer boy gets for making jokes leading off the inning. Fired into second. Oh, did they get him? No, he didn't. Burnt pulled up into second very nonchalantly there, and they almost got him. Wow.
Now batting, the catcher, Jay Voika.
I mean, first pitch swinging, opposite field double down the line. That almost isn't a double. It also almost ends up being a single and a long out. My, how the pendulum swings in such a short amount of time. Possible bunt situation here for Voika, who's 0 for 10 on the postseason with 2 walks. And he nearly got hit. It is 1-0. The first extra base hit of the night goes to the Bulldogs, and Burnt was in scoring position to begin the top of the third. Now, Voika was hit by a pitch as part of the Ryan O'Rourke Funhouse in the bottom of the 7th last night. Yeah, there's a reason people are scared of clowns. My wife does the Calliope music. 1-1 is the count to Voika. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Voika and then Siebert, and then the lineup will turn over to Velas. If you're wondering what that metronome is for, there's color guard practice going on the football field. That's in a left center field for a base hit. They're going to put the brakes. And then the throw is offline, but it's backed up by Casserly. They're going to put the brakes on Burnt. So it is runners at the corners with nobody out.
Now batting, the right fielder, Mike Siebert.
Here's Mike Siebert. Well, one saving grace, I guess, if you're the Blue Sox, is that likelihood of a bunt here with a runner at third is less. They are going to bring Ramirez in on the lip of the infield grass. The ball hit his way. It would have to be the opposite way, though. Potentially freeze the runner. That is outside for a ball. Siebert, 1 for 8 with a walk this postseason. 2-0. Voika, for those playing the home game, has not attempted a stolen base in his 2 years, regular or postseason, with the Bulldogs. He might not need to, though. It's 3-0. And Velis, who made a couple of fantastic defensive plays in the bottom of the first, is due up next with a chance to make his mark on this series offensively as well. Wow, that was not even close. Did not even challenge the number 10 hitter, Siebert. It is a 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded with nobody out for Velis.
Now batting, the second baseman, Jaden Velis.
This is another thing that I've seen Blue Sox pitchers struggle with mightily this season. It's another layer of not being able to put away batters that you really shouldn't have so much trouble with. No matter where they are in the lineup, getting them to 2 strikes, or guys at the bottom of the order, dancing around with them, like Siebert. 1 for 8 this postseason. This 1 hit came as part of a 1 for 4 in game 1. Regular season, he batted .278, which is, respectable, obviously. The Bulldogs, against the Blue Sox, rather. I mean, that's the one reason you are a little worried about him, because he batted as well against them as anybody. He was 3 for 7 the regular season with a run and an RBI. So the lineup turns over for Velis. Bases full of Bulldogs and nobody out. And that is in there for a strike. It is 0-1, and Velis doesn't seem thrilled at the call. Reached for, sliced the other way towards the corner, and that'll land foul for strike 2. Hit a long way off the end of the bat, much like Burnt's double leading off this inning. But too late. Sliced foul into the corner. No debate about that one. Burnt's double was placed perfectly. Went a long way and landed just inside the line. 0-2. Burnt at third. Voika at second. Siebert at first. Did they call a balk? They called a balk. They called a balk on Chris Wannett. They called a balk. Do not do a balk, please. And I'm having flashbacks to the Andre game right now. So it is 1-0, second and third now. Still an 0-2 count. Of course, that takes double play out of the equation. Infield comes in and maybe a bit rattled after the balk call. Wannett delivers down and away for a ball. 1-2, and a good job by Maltasea to pick that one and prevent it from going to the backstop. Grounder to the left side. They'll fire home, and they'll slap the tag on Voika coming home. It's a fielder's choice. They'll get Siebert to third. Voika is retired 5-2. Velis reaches. One down.
Now batting, the third baseman, Brett Stone.
So the double play back in the equation here, but of course the Blue Sox would have loved to have that kind of play while the bases were still loaded. And we set up a double play that would have made it 2 on and 2 out, but Velis at first. Here's Stoney with runners of the corners. Hits this one into center field, into no man's land. Did he catch that? He did. The throw, though, is offline to the plate. Then they'll throw back to first. Wow, a comedy of errors all around. They had there's just so much going on in that play. It ends up being a sac fly that plates Siebert, but you had Velis rounding second, and then he went back to first.
Now batting, the center fielder, Nick Favazzo.
He realized it wasn't a catch, went back to first, but the throw came home offline. Then they threw to first. That could have been the end of the inning there if they had gotten a clean throw over to first, but it was bobbled by Casserly, and just, I'll tell you, folks, we obviously cannot, blame the color guard practice, but I would not be surprised if that's causing the spooks right now for the Blue Sox. Into left field, down for a base hit, because they've been practicing since before this game started.
Now batting, the first baseman, Seamus Condon.
As Favazzo singles, they've been practicing since before the game started, but this is really the first time that I've heard them practicing with the metronome and the music as loud as they are. And it's one thing to have my stupid in stereo coming at you from the front. It's another to have that stuff coming from me from behind. Here's Condon. Hits this one into left field, and McKiernan runs it down for the out. That retires the side, an inning that could have been far, far worse. Wannett angry and saying, let's get some runs, guys. And we'll see if the Blue Sox can do that. Down 2-0 after 2.5. All right, down with the sound called LSP? Of course you are. Then follow and support us on the web, Linktree, Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Flash the subscribe button. Membership's also available. PayPal and Creator Spring, LSP 37. It's the right thing to do.
Now batting, the left fielder, Owen McKiernan.
9, 10, and 1 due up for the Blue Sox. McKiernan, Maltasea, and Jones. For an eventful top of the third that produces the first runs of the ball game. Burnt leading it off with the double. Siebert scoring on a sac fly. The bases were loaded with nobody out. And the Blue Sox lucky that it didn't become bigger inning than it was. 2-0 now to McKiernan. McKiernan, Maltasea, and Jones. If anyone gets up, Jake McElroy. Gets on, rather, Jake McElroy. Fouled off. Count will be 2-1. McKiernan playing in his 5th out of possible 5 postseason games. 2 out of 11 with a triple and 4 ribbies. Actually leads the team in that department. And it is 3-1. Well, McKiernan's able to lay off that one for ball 4, but the band started playing again as soon as that pitch came to the plate. He nearly pulled the trigger and went around.
Now batting, the catcher, Luke Maltasea.
As an athlete, you're often told to drown out the noise, but how literal do they really mean that? I mean, apart from obviously the crowds that you play in front of, pickoff attempt to McKiernan is safe. How often do they mean just like noise that isn't, crowd noise? Not often, I'll tell you that much. Oh and 1. Maltasea. .333, .308, .417 is his slash line this postseason. Went around. 0-2. Grounder to the left side, slow roller picked up at short. Only play will be to first. There will be no play, in fact.
Now batting, the extra hitter, Brendan Jones.
So an infield single on an 0-2 pitch has first and second for Jonesy. He's going to show bunt, pull back, throw back to second, not in time. And it's ball 1. Well, Jonesy's uniform is dirty. I just need to get Eric's uniform dirty. McKiernan's. Another throw back to second, and again, well, McKiernan is about a third of the way to third. Each of the last 2 pitches. And you gotta want to make sure this sacrifice works out somehow, but what if it gets popped up or something? 3-0. Sam Finn is going to call time to brush the plate off. What about the second base bag, Sammy? There is action, by the way, in the Blue Sox bullpen. Ball 4 and the bases are loaded with nobody out, much like they were in the top half of this inning.
Now batting, the center fielder, Jake McElroy.
So it's McKiernan at third, Maltasea at second, and Jones at first. As here comes Eric Steinkraus, company-wide meeting. See how they are going to attack the Blue Sox going into the thick of it, starting with McElroy. Now McElroy popped up to second his first time up, and then after him it'll be Ramirez. And he's the only one of the Blue Sox batters to get a base hit before this inning. So here's McElroy. Again, 0 for 1, popped up to second his first time up in the first. Infield is in. McElroy swings at the first one, popped up, foul, past the bleachers, strike one. One and Peruzzi can't believe it. Sammy Finn motioning to say that was down. Big difference between 0-2 and 1-1 spots like these, of course. Allen gets to strike two anyways. It was late on that fastball. Coming set is Peruzzi. 1-2. Outside corner, strike three called. Huge first out, and now a ground ball could get the Bulldogs out of this.
Now batting, the third baseman, Eric Ramirez.
Ramirez, his first time up, picked up just his second base hit of the postseason. He's only 2 for 9 on the postseason to this point. Needs to come through in a big way here. Big difference between a base hit with the bases loaded and a base hit in a scoreless ball game with 2 outs in the first. Came up empty there, and it is 0-1. Fouled off, and it is 0-2. Cannot let the moment get too big. Settle it down. And you put in the same spot that you did the last time. That'll at least bring home one. Peruzzi comes set. 0-2. Fouled off. Late on that one. Knowing that Ramirez is prone to maybe slowing down his own swing because he's so amped up, I would try to quick pitch him. You give him time to think about it, he'll at least put it into play. Catch is made in right field, and the throw one-hopped back into the infield and freezes McKiernan at third, 2 down.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Julian Alvarez.
Siebert coming in to make the catch. Just got under it too much there, and I could hear Ramirez throwing his bat in frustration in the dugout just now. So let's see what Jules can do with the bases loaded and 2 down, with the Blue Sox down 2-0. Strike one. The Bulldogs loaded the bases with nobody out in the top half this inning. They cashed in for the 2 runs you see in the bottom right corner of your screen. The Blue Sox loaded the bases with nobody out to start this half of the inning. But they are 2 strikes / 1 out away from committing a noble tiger. Foul tip, and oh my goodness, that also got Sammy Finn. Rick DeAngelis, who used to be Sammy Finn's manager for many years with the Blue Sox when Finn was the pitcher for the Blue Sox. Holding the ice pack in place. I don't know if either of the umpires have their home plate gear with them. In theory, you could umpire a game from behind the pitcher's mound if it were absolutely necessary, but I don't know what the protocol is in a situation like this. Alex Wojtek waving in Mark Leary. Leary's an EMT. He would probably have the most expertise about this situation. Consulting with Leary about, hey, do you think it's advisable for me to continue here? We're in the third inning of a 2-0 game that isn't even an hour old. We usually have the lights on till 11 for postseason games here at Morelli. And, yeah, he's a hockey player. Sammy Finn getting a well-deserved round of applause from everyone here at Morelli for toughing that one out. I mean, if you're Jules, I mean, you came up empty on that last big swing, fouled it straight into the home plate umpire. Like, how do you use that time? Use it to recalibrate? Like, you got to remember, you're at 2 strikes with 2 outs, and the bases loaded in front of you. You cannot let this inning. You cannot leave this inning empty-handed. And if you're Peruzzi, what do you do to ambush him? You sneak a fastball by him, try to snap a curveball in there. Let's see. 1-2. Alvarez into left for a base hit. 1 run scores, and they put the brakes on Maltasea at third.
Now batting, the shortstop, Luis Angeles.
The inning continues, and probably more importantly, for Luis Atiles. Walk at a steal last inning. He went around. That part of his anatomy is still working for Sammy Finn. 0-1. Bounces to the plate. No advance by the runners, and it is 1-1. You obviously want to get more out of this if you're the Blue Sox, but to know that you got something out of this and didn't commit the noble tiger at least gives you some momentum back. Peruzzi comes set. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Oh, did he pull the string on him there? 1-2. That's an hittable spot, too. Maltasay at third, Jones at second, Alvarez at first. Down and away for a ball. It is 2-2. Full count. Gentlemen, start your engines. With Jimenez due up next. Big pitch here. 3-2, 2 outs, bases loaded, 1-run ball game. Peruzzi comes set. Payoff pitch, here it is. Runners go. Check swing. He appealed. No, he did not go. It's ball 4. A run scores. Wow, I was certain that Luis went around on that one. Instead, we're back to where we started.
Now batting, the second baseman, Anderson Jimenez.
The third walk of the inning and fourth of the game allowed by Peruzzi. And now here's Jimenez. Popped up to second his first time up in the second. Swing and a miss. I mean, I do not blame the Blue Sox for some of these like emotional swings they're taking, like trying to harness the momentum, catch lightning in a bottle, and maybe ranch one into the middle of the color guard practice. And I'll be out the end of the bat the other way into the right field corner, but that'll land out of play for strike 2. At the same time, you've seen that from Jimenez. You've seen that from Ramirez. At some point, if you're Peruzzi and the rest of the Bulldogs pitching staff, if you're in a situation like this again, use that to your advantage. Spike one like Peruzzi did to start this at-bat and get ahead with a cheapie. That one goes to the backstop on a swing and miss for strike 3, and the throw goes into right field, and the Blue Sox lead. Now here comes another runner. It's 4-2. Are you kidding me? Ross Curley, where are you at? Swing now and run.
Now batting, the first baseman, Casserly.
Wow. Of all the ways for the Blue Sox to score any amount of runs in this inning, I did not have this one envisioned. 1-0. A strikeout and a wild pitch. And an error by the catcher as Jimenez goes, and it is 1-1 as it's fouled off. Jonesy scores on the error, on the wild pitch. Alvarez scores on the error. The Blue Sox are capable of digging themselves out of holes, but usually in more conventional ways. Smoke to third, past Stoney, into left for a base hit. Casserly into second with an RBI double. It's 5-2.
Now batting, the right fielder, Ryan Grundy.
What even is this game? Sam Finn would say, it's baseball. And I would say, I know. Cass with the RBI double. Here's Grundy. In there for a strike, 0-1. The Blue Sox loaded the bases with nobody out on 2 walks and an infield single, and then a strikeout looking of Jake McElroy, a shallow fly out by Eric Ramirez, and then after Julian Alvarez fouled a 1-1 pitch into home plate umpire Sam Finn, that's when everything's changed. 1-2. Bulldogs, I could hear someone from the infield shouting, where? It did look a little bit down and away, but 2-2. And the more Sam Finn has just issued a warning to someone in the Bulldogs, Blue Sox dugout, rather. And I'm not sure what the Blue Sox, and it might have been just a bit too much chirping after the where question by the Bulldogs. I don't know. Anyways, 2-2. Full count. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's fuel for the fire, isn't it? 3-2. Base open for McKiernan on deck. The pitch to Grundy. Here it is. Broken back grounder. That is a foul ball. We'll do it again. Again, of all the ways for the Blue Sox to score 5 runs, given how this inning started, I could have come up with 1,000 different ways before whatever this was. Like, an appeal on a full count pitch with the bases loaded results in a walk to tie the game. A swing and a miss on strike 3 allows 2 runs to score. Then another run scores on the double by Casserly. 3-2. Here it is. Grundy to the right side, fielded at second by Velas, on to first for the out that retires the side, but the damage has been done. 5 runs, all with 2 outs in the most unimaginable way. We go to the 4th, 5-2 Blue Sox. LSP and Shipping Shield are partners in cards. Shipping Shields are the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly. Made in the U.S. and Canada on 100% recyclable cardboard. Use the checkout codes and link on the screen or in the description for a discount on your order. We may receive a commission from those orders, but we thank you for your continued support of whatever this is. I mean, that very well could have been part of it, Jeff Berry. I mean, then again, it might not have been a part of it, a part of the 2 runs by the Bulldogs that inning either. Like, again, how do you drown out the noise? Take me away from it. Take the crowd away from it. How do you drown out that literal noise coming in from behind you? It's funny, though, because in all the time, basically the time that it took to tend to Sam Finn after he took that foul ball off the wrist, the loudest portion of the practice for the color guard out in left field, the football field beyond left field, came to an end. And Sam Finn going over to the Bulldogs dugout. He's talking to Eric Steinkraus about something. Third base umpire apparently alerted Sammy to something and is telling him to say, hey, one of your guys is kind of close to the line. Tell him to dial it back. I don't know, something along those lines. Anyways, we go to the top of the 4th. Matt Favazzo, Vince Libretto, and Shane Costello due up for the Bulldogs.
Now batting, the shortstop, Matthew Favazzo.
Favazzo flew out to right his first time up in the second. These 3 men were up in the second when Wannick got his only 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. In fact, it was the only 1-2-3 inning of the ball game for either side. Oh, hello. And after the jaw gymnastics from last inning, Might be a little suspicious of that pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. If you can get that, why would you? How can you not be romantic about baseball? Popped up on the right side. Did Casserly lose it? Nah, he's got it. 1 down.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Vince Libretto.
He had Jimenez coming in for backup, and I wasn't sure if Jimenez had called him off or something, but that is the first baseman's ball. Here's Libretto, lined out to Ramirez at third, his first time up. 1-0. Bruce Hack just letting us know that 5-run bottom of the third, biggest single inning for the Blue Sox this postseason. 2-0. And it couldn't have come at a better time. Two and one. Libretto settling back in. Still got the hitter's count. Scorched into left center field. On his horse is McElroy to track that down.
Now batting, the left fielder, Shane Costello.
So here's Costello, struck out swinging to end the top of the second. So far, the only strikeout victim of one Chris Wannett. Oh, that is a whopper of a curveball for strike one. Grounder to short. Easy peasy 1-2-3-Z once again for Chris Wannett. Halfway home, 5-2 Blue Sox. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $25 a spot, whether you want to promote a business, product, or event, or send a message of support to a player, team, or coach. Email yours truly for all the deets. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Peruzzi's still out there for the Bulldogs. And it is going to be McKiernan, Maltasea, and Jones.
Now batting, the left fielder, Owen McKiernan.
McKiernan got the party started last inning with a leadoff walk. Came around to score on Alvarez's two-out single. Fouled off the other way for strike one. Five runs. The bottom of the fourth for the bottom of the third for the Blue Sox. All 7 runs this game scored in the third. It's fouled off. 0-2. The Bulldogs began the top of the third by loading the bases on a double by Burnt, a single by Voica, and a walk by Siebert, before Burnt came home on a balk and Siebert scored on Stone sack fly. Swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Owen McKiernan. 1 up, 1 down.
Now batting, the catcher, Luke
Maltasea singled, an infield single. The Blue Sox load the bases in the third on 2 walks and an infield single by the number 10 hitter, the catcher, Maltasea. Oh, hello. I mean, I don't blame Peruzzi for wanting to get back into it, keep the game going, see if you can get your offense back to the plate as quickly as you can. At any rate, first pitch, fouled off for strike 1. So after the bases were loaded with nobody out, McElroy struck out looking. Ramirez hit a shallow fly out to right, and then Alvarez has the RBI single. Atiles draws ball 4 with the bases still loaded. On an appeal on a check swing that goes the Blue Sox way, I thought he went around. But the inning continued. Ground to the left side, past Stoney in the left. 1 out base hit. 2 for 2 is Maltasea.
Now batting, the extra hitter, Brendan Jones.
And the lineup turns over for Jonesy. Gets the bunt off, but fouls into the screen for strike 1. And then, after Thiele had worked the bases loaded walk, Jimenez struck out on a pitch down and away. And flashbacks to Ross Curley saying from the on-deck circle, swing now and run. He basically did that. Here's a bunt back to the pitcher. Throws in time to second for 1. So the sacrifice unsuccessful. Jones reaches on the fielder's choice, and there are 2 down for McElroy.
Now batting, the center fielder, Jake McElroy.
Jimenez struck out swing, but a wild pitch allowed Jonesy to score the go-ahead run. Then an error on the throw to try and complete the strikeout by Voica. Went up the line into right field and plated Alvarez. And then Casserly, a little more conventional, with an RBI double to bring home Atiles. Ground to short. A little bit of a bobble there at second, but able to get to the second baseman in time for the out that retires the side. We go to the 5th, 5-2, Blue Sox. When I say LSP has something for everyone since 2011, I, by God, mean it. Sports, live events, petsing, walking, tech help, errands, and a whole lot more. Find our Thumbtack page or Linktree LSP37 or email yours truly so we can proceed to give you what you need. We go to the top of the 5th, and it's Burnt, Voica, and Siebert, the same 3 guys who led off the 2-run third for the Bulldogs, due up here in the 5th.
Now batting, the extra hitter, Emilio Burnt.
Burnt led off the top of the 3rd with a double the opposite way and then came home to score on the balk. But as I've said, there's a grounder to 3rd. Ramirez to 1st. Throw gets away. Burnt reaches on the first pitch. Second consecutive AB.
Now batting, the catcher, Jay Woika.
Bruce, was that a hit or an E5? Thank you. So Burnt reaches on the error, and now here's Voika. But as I was saying, if you gave me 1,000 opportunities to come up with how the Blue Sox would score 5 runs in an inning, that was not one of them I could come up with. 1-0 is the count to Voika, who singled his first time up and was thrown out. 5-2. The infield drawn in on when Velas was at bat. At the bottom of the zone for strike one, 1-1. Chris Wannett still out there. Going into inning number 5 after an easy peasy 1-2-3Z top of the 4th. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Burnt reaching base for the second time. An error by Ramirez to begin this inning. And, I mean, there's still time, though, for the Bulldogs to come back. I mean, you wouldn't think there was really, quote-unquote, time when they were down 5 going into the top of the 7th on Friday night. Still a lot to be decided. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout for Wannett.
Now batting, the right fielder, Mike Siebert.
Here's Siebert, who walked his first time up in the 3rd and came around to score on the sac fly by Brett Stone. A look at first by Wannett. And the pitch. Going to lay a bunt down. It's a good one up the line, but that is going to roll foul. Look good at the time, but then just kept rolling a bit too strongly. And Wannett was the one who ended up touching it foul. 0-1 is the count to Siebert. Burnt getting his lead off of first. 0-1 count to the number 10 hitter, Siebert. Runs a bit too far inside, and it is 1-1. And for those playing the home game, Burnt has 1 stolen base this postseason. That came against the Blue Sox in Game 1. It is 1-2 to Siebert. Our look at first by Wannett. Comes set. Outside. 2-2. Five-2 is our score. All 7 runs in this game so far were scored in the 3rd inning. Curveball, no. Ball 3. Top of the order due up next with Velas in the on-deck circle, representing the tying run. Ball 4. First and second, and the lineup turns over for Jaden.
Now batting, the second baseman, Jaden Velas.
So that's the second time that Wannett has walked Siebert, the number 10 hitter, in the Bulldogs lineup. Oh and 1, the count to Velas. Grounded foul over towards the Blue Sox dugout, and John Carlos Ramirez eager to pick that one up. 0 and 2. Well, there's no more band practice, and there's no more lights on the football field either. 0-2 from Wannett to Velas. 1 and 2. Brett Stone due up next. 2 and 2. Again, nibbling after getting to 2 strikes. And the man on deck is not the one you want to come to the plate with the bases loaded. Fouled off. Good spoil there by Velas. Driven into left center field, back to the wall, and it is run down by McElroy. Oh, that is a massive second out.
Now batting, the third baseman, Brett Stone.
He had to cover a lot of ground for that one, as he did, tracking down the sac fly off the bat of this man coming to the plate now. Brett Stone is last time up. Stoney 1 for 1, single in the first, and the RBI on the sac fly in the third. Pat McGowan going out. Or is that Sammy Steed? Anyways, company-wide meeting on the mound. How to address the former Blue Sox, how to address the ICL MVP candidate. As Stoney represents the tying run here in the top of the 5th of a do-or-die game for the Bulldogs. If they win Game 4 tomorrow night, if they lose this series, this season is over. With Burnt at second and Siebert at first, Wannett delivers, swing and a miss, strike 1. And yeah, going for the game-tying home run right there was Stoney. You could tell. 0-1 is the count. Fouled into the screen, and it is 0-2. Alex Wojcik making himself useful. Say hi to your mom. 0-2 with 2 outs and 2 on here in the top of the 5th. Wannett looks at second. Again, comes home. Fouled into the overhang. Well, outfielders shaded over towards right for the left-handed hitting Stone. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A strikeout in a huge spot there for Wannett. He's up to 3 now on the ball game. He strands 2, and we go to the 6th, still 5-2. Blue Sox. The LSP store is open. Get yourself a DVD or digital copy of most past LSP video broadcasts or one of several different designs of stickers, shirts, or other merch, including some stuff with my dog, Tina the Long Arena, on it, and some words I've probably said on this here YouTube channel over the years. Email yours truly for game videos or go to Creator Spring for merch. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Ramirez, Alvarez, and Atiles due up.
Now batting, the third baseman, Eric Ramirez.
Ramirez 1 for 2, single in the first, fly out to right in the third. Peruzzi back out there for inning number 5. Ramirez swings at the first pitch, fly ball into left, and that will be caught for out number 1. Got under it a bit too much, right size, wrong shape. And on one pitch, Ramirez is retired. He's now 1 for 3.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Julian Alvarez.
So here's Jules. Base hit his last time. That scored the first Blue Sox run of that bottom of the third. That third inning is the only one that has any runs in the column. Ooh, ran inside. 1-0 is the count as Jules had to jackknife out of the way of that one. Alvarez picking up his third RBI of the postseason. And his 24th career RBI with the Blue Sox dating back to 2016. Over the career postseason RBI. 2-1. In 2021, in 13 games, Jules had a 1346 OPS with appeal to umpire at first, no swing. Jules had a 1346 OPS and 13 at-bats. He was 5 for 13 with 2 homers and 6 ribbies. And he's on a better clip this year, entering play with a 1393 OPS in 4 games. And that number will get bumped up a little bit as Alvarez draws the walk.
Now batting, the shortstop, Luis Antilles.
Here's Atiles. Drew the controversial walk on the 3-2 pitch. That brought home the tying run back in the third. Alvarez for his career across the Park League, Yawkey League, Intercity League, and the MSBL is now up to 40 career RBIs in 91 games. 0-1 is the count to Atiles. 0-2 is the count to Atiles. He has 2 walks to his name tonight. Blue Sox as a team with 17 walks in the first 4 games and have drawn 5 more tonight. Oh and 2 is the count to Atiles. With Alvarez a small lead at first. Up and in for a ball, and the count will move to 1-2. Anderson Jimenez is due up next. Fouled off. Grounder to the left side and through for a base hit. A 2-strike pitch. Atiles reaches for the third time.
Now batting, the second baseman, Anderson Jimenez.
Now here's Jimenez, and also here is Eric Steinkraus. We're also going to have a pinch runner at second. And that's going to do it for Alec Peruzzi. Norris. And Will Norris is going to pinch run at second for Alvarez.
Pinch running for the Blue Sox, number 41, Will Norris.
Are you down with a sound called LSP? Of course you are. Then follow and support us on the web. Linktree, Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Flash the subscribe button. Membership's also available. PayPal and Creator Spring, LSP37. All the cool kids are doing it. Greg Gentle. Greg Gentle is going to take over on the mound for the Bulldogs.
Now on the mound for the Bulldogs, number 80, Greg Gentle.
Greg's making his second appearance of the postseason. Pitched an inning on August 11th against the Mad Dogs. Did not allow a hit, a run, or a walk, and struck out 2. In the regular season, made 9 appearances and was 1-0 with 1 save. Did not allow an earned run, allowed 3 unearned runs to the Melrose Americans on July 15th. In 13 2/3 innings, allowed 12 hits, 3 unearned runs, as I said. Walked 6, struck out 19. Did not face the Blue Sox in the regular season. Last faced the Blue Sox on July 29th, 2024. Went an inning and a third, allowed no hits, no runs, walked 2, and struck out 1. So Peruzzi is done after 4 1/3. And Jimenez will be the first one to greet the new noodle. Peruzzi goes 4 1/3 after going 6 1/3 against the Mad Dogs in the semis. And both outings longer than any outing he had in the regular season. One 1-0 is the count as Gentle misses just outside. He's got Norris at second, pinch running for Alvarez. And Atiles at first. Fouls that one off, 1-1. Four and a third innings for Peruzzi. Still responsible for both runners on base. Two and one. Three and one. Peruzzi allowed 6 hits and 5 walks. struck out 4. Of course, one of those included a wild pitch that ended up scoring 2 runs. Jimenez into medium depth center, caught, and it's a step off of the bag by Norris to try and draw an errant throw, and to no avail. 2 down.
Now batting, the first baseman, Pat Casterly.
So here's Casserly, RBI double his last time up. That's in there for a strike, 0-1. In the top of the 6th, the Bulldogs will have the heart of the order due up. Nick Favazzo, Seamus Condon, and Matt Favazzo. Blooper into right center field. That's down for a base hit. Being waved around third is Norris. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's cut off. Another RBI single for Pat Casserly. And his 6-2.
Pinch hitting for the Blue Sox, number 46, David Vanderzalen.
Casserly 2 for 3 with 2 ribbies, and now Mrs. Vanderzalen's baby boy gonna try and get in on it. Grundy finishes his night 0 for 2 with a strikeout, looking at a ground out to second. Up and away for ball 1. DVZ 3 for 11 with a triple in 3 games so far this postseason. Oh! Yeah, that's what you got to do there, Dave. Just pitch the bat and go to first. I know tensions have been running hot tonight, but you just entered the game. Just take your base and pass the baton.
Now batting, the left fielder, Owen McKiernan.
Here's McKiernan with the bases full of Blue Sox. 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Takes down low for a ball. It is 1-0. 1-1. Fly ball into right over towards the line, and that will be caught by Siebert for the out that retires the side. The Blue Sox extend their lead with 1 run, but leave the bases loaded, and we go to the 6th. 6-2, Blue Sox. LSP and Shipping Shield are partners in cards. Shipping Shields are the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly, made in the U.S. and Canada on 100% recyclable cardboard. Use the link and codes on the screen or in the description for a discount on your order. We may receive a commission from those orders, but we thank you for your continued support of whatever this is. New noodle for the Blue Sox is Luke Marshall, hoping for a significantly better outing than either of his first 2 this postseason. Went an inning against the Americans on August 12th. Did not allow a hit, but did walk 2, allow 2 earned runs, and struck out 1. And then on Friday, 4 of those 5 runs in the top of the 7th that the Bulldogs scored to tie the game were charged to Marshall. Only went a third of an inning, allowed 1 hit, 4 earned runs, walked 2, struck out 1, and hit a batter. You want to think about it like that. If you're a Bulldogs fan, you are licking your chops as to see this as a possible comeback opportunity if you can have similar success to what they had against Marshall on Friday night. But regardless, that closes the book on both Alec Peruzzi and Chris Wannett. Peruzzi ended up going 4 1/3 innings, allowing 6 runs on 6 hits and 5 walks with 4 strikeouts, 1 wild pitch. Wannett ends up going 5 innings, allowing 2 runs on 2, 3, 4, 5 hits and 2 walks and 3 strikeouts, right? Yep.
Now batting, the center fielder, Nick Favazzo.
So Marshall to face Favazzo, Condon, and Favazzo. Nick with a base hit his last time up in the 3rd. Curveball waited on, grounded to 3rd. Ramirez has it, on to 1st. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Now batting, the first baseman, Seamus Condon.
Condon's 0 for 2. Ground out to 3rd in the 1st. Fly out to left to end the Bulldogs rally in the 3rd. Curveball bends back to the outside corner for strike 1. 0-1. Inside corner this time, and it is 0-2. Marshall's going to step off. Curveball. This is up and in. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 6th. And here's Matt Favazzo.
Now batting, the shortstop, Matthew Favazzo.
Favazzo 0 for 2 with a fly out to right in the 2nd and a pop up to 1st in the 4th. Swings at the first pitch, hits it into right field. Vander Zouwen catches it. Easy peasy 1-2-3-Z for Luke Marshall. And the Blue Sox lead 6-2 going into the bottom of the 6th. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $25 a spot. Whether you want to promote a business, product, or event, or send a message of support to a player, team, or coach, email yours truly for all the deets. Well, knowing how Game 1 played out, if you want to be extra comfortable as a Blue Sox fan, you'd like to see the Blue Sox tack on 2 more here, because a 5-run deficit was wiped away rather easily by the Bulldogs in the top of the 7th in Game 1 when the Blue Sox were 3 outs away from an otherwise decisive victory and ended up having to walk it off in extras thanks to Brian Acosta.
Now batting the catcher, Luke Maltasea.
So we go to the bottom of the 6th, 10-1-2 due up for the Blue Sox. Maltasea, Jones, and McElroy. Outside corner for strike 1. 0-1 is the count. Maltasea is 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. Grounder to third. Stoney's got it. On to first. Strong throw in time for out number 1. Maltasea retired for the first time tonight.
Now batting the extra hitter, Brendan Jones.
Here's Jonesy. 0 for 2. Grounded out to second in the first. Walked and scored in the third. Reach on a fielder's choice in the fourth. Down and in for a ball. It is 1-0. Won it for the first 5. Marshall got the 6th. Will he come out for the 7th, or someone else going to come out to try and close this out for the Blue Sox? 3-0 now to Brendan Jones. Jake McElroy due up next. As Jonesy takes a strike, it's 3-1. If Jonesy or McElroy can get on, Eric Ramirez will get another turn at bat. Grounder right back up the middle, handled by Gentle on to first for the second out of the inning.
Now batting the center fielder, Jake McElroy.
McElroy 0 for 3. Popped up to second in the first, struck out looking in the third, reached on a fielder's choice in the fourth. Outside for ball 1. In the top of the 7th, the Bulldogs will have Libretto, Costello, and Burnt due up. In there for a strike. It's 1-1. 7 of the 8 runs in this game were scored in the third inning. Both teams loaded the bases with nobody out in that inning. The Bulldogs got 2 out of it. The Blue Sox nearly got none. They scored 5 of their 6 runs with 2 outs in a way that, even for a team that has made a habit of 2-out rallies over the years that I've covered them, in a way that I couldn't dream of. Liner caught at second base by Jaden Vellis for the out that retires the side, and we go to the top of the 7th. Closing time for the Blue Sox. Up 6-2. The LSP store is open. Get yourself a DVD copy or digital copy, most past LSP video broadcasts, or one of several different designs of stickers, shirts, or other merch, including some stuff with my dog, Tina the Long Arena, on it, and some words I've probably said on this here YouTube channel over the years. Email yours truly for game videos or go to Creator Spring for merch. As we go to the top of the 7th here on August 18th, 2025, tomorrow marks the 4-year anniversary of the Blue Sox clinching their last ICL championship in a 2-1 victory over the Middlesex Expos at Watertown's Victory Field.
Pinch hitting for the Bulldogs, number 31, John Nordman.
And it was 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th that flipped that game around to give the Blue Sox the victory. As John Nordman has grabbed a bat to pinch hit for Vince Libretto, and he takes down and away for ball 1. 2-0. Luke Marshall is going to go out there for the 7th, try to finish this off. Fouled off 2-1. A 3-year gap between championships, with the Blue Sox not even making the ICL Championship Series in 2023 and losing to the Expos in 22 and the Chiefs in 24. It sounds like a good problem to have, and when you've been as successful as the Blue Sox have in a relatively short amount of time, this is the 30th season of ICL baseball for the Blue Sox. 3 years can feel like 86 sometimes. But if the outside for ball 4, and John Nordman draws a leadoff walk. Now remember,
Now batting, the left fielder, Shane Costello.
now remember that on Friday night, the Blue Sox were up 7-2 going into the top of the 7th with 3 outs to get, and the Bulldogs came back and tied the game. The Blue Sox had to win it in extras. Now this is, I guess you could say, an easier task. 20% easier, I guess, technically speaking. Nick Favazzo, who would be due up 8th in this inning, by the way, hit the grand slam to tie it. Favazzo went 1 for 2 with 2 walks, 3 runs scored, and 1, of course, being the grand slam. Bulldogs wanted the hit by pitch call, didn't get it. 2-1, 3-1, and again, Marshall was the one who got charged with 4 of those 5 runs, and 3 of the runs that scored in the grand slam in the top of the 7th on Friday. It is back-to-back walks to begin the top of the 7th. Dylan Steinkraus is going to grab a bat and hit for Emilio Burnt. And that is going to do it for Luke Marshall. And we have a pitching change. It's the Lexington Blue Sox trying to wrap up their 17th ICL title. And we'll turn the ball over. Is that Cole? What number is it? Oh, it ends in 0. Or is that? Yeah, everyone's huddled around him. Well, wouldn't be. Oh, 44. Okay, so that would be Josh Becker.
Now on the mound for the Blue Sox, number 24, Josh Becker.
Now, Becker only pitched in. He's only pitched in one game this postseason. It was against the Americans on August 12th. That was the semifinal clincher. He went 2/3 of an inning, allowed 2 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, and hit a batter. In the regular season, he appeared in 10 games and was 2-0 with 2 saves and a .5 ERA. He did not allow. He only allowed 1 run the entire season, and that was in the middle of that bonkers game at Maplewood against the Chiefs that ended officially in a tie because the Blue Sox could not win the game of beat the clock against the Maplewood Light Tower. And during that rally by the Chiefs in that game, Josh Becker got called for 2 balks. And we've already seen 1 balk get called tonight. That was against Wannett. Dylan Steinkraus, pinch hitting for Emilio Burnt, who was 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. Steinkraus fouls that one off, and it is strike 1. Steinkraus is getting his 2nd game of the postseason. He scored a run in game 1 of this series. 0-2. In the regular season, Steinkraus slashed 250, 357, 250, no extra base hits, 1 RBI, and 5 walks. Little flare into center field, and that will get down, but it could be a force. Oh, no, it's a thrown off line. The bases are loaded. Steinkraus just a little rinky-dink into shallow center. Reaches. For a moment, McElroy had a play to try and force the man in the middle. But, folks, stop me if you heard this one. The bases are loaded, and the Bulldogs have the tying run at the plate. Voika, 1 for 2 with a single. Once again, the Bulldogs getting the first 3 aboard here in the 7th like they did in the 3rd. Strike 1. Becker's not going to fool around here. He's going to go with a full windup. Oh! Strike 2. Remember, it's not where he catches it. It's where it crosses the plate, boys and girls. 0-2. Luke Maltasea's life flashed before his eyes. It was really boring. Bases full of dogs. Nordman at 3rd, Costello at 2nd, Steinkraus at 1st. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Voika down on strikes for the 2nd time, 1 down.
Now batting, the right fielder, Mike Siebert.
Here's Siebert, walked and scored in the 3rd, and walked in the 5th. Check swing. They'll appeal. No, he did not go. It's ball 1. Infield at double play depth. Oof. 2-0. Hitters count here. Again, Siebert is a number 10 hitter. He had good numbers against the Blue Sox this season, but you can't dilly-dally with the guys at the bottom of the order. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 3-1. In the top of the order, due up next in Velas. And then Stone behind him. 3-1. Here it is. Popped up in a foul territory. Ramirez giving chase, sliding up against the fence, was not able to make a play. It is 3-2. 2021, the year the Blue Sox last championship. 2021, also the year my relationship with Katrina started. You didn't think excitement at baseball of this level existed, did you? Never thought you'd get so invested in a adult league team, huh? I mean, that's hella competitive too. Just ask Jules. 3-2 to Siebert. Here it is. Grounder through the right side into the outfield for a base hit. 1 run scores. Everyone goes station to station. The tying run is now at first, and the lineup turns over for Velas.
Now batting, the second baseman, Jaden Velas.
Siebert has not been retired tonight for the number 10 spot, and now he has an RBI. Swing and a miss, strike 1. I wonder if the 2 balks are in the back of the mind of Becker. I mean, pitchers typically can work with a full windup with the bases loaded, but it's become less common in recent years. But obviously the Bulldogs don't want to run themselves out of outs and run themselves out of this series, so you probably have free reign. To second, to the shortstop for 1. On the first, it's over! The Blue Sox win! Back like they never left!
Congratulations to the Lexington Blue Sox. You are the 2025 Intercity League Baseball Champions.
Josh Becker gets out of Dodge with the 4-6-3 double play. Fitting that a man like Luis Atiles would factor into the championship deciding play. Rick DeAngelis getting his dancing shoes on right now with the boys out behind the pitcher's mound, and the Blue Sox win their 17th Intercity League championship, their first since 2021. And again, Blue Sox do not go more than 3 years between championships. Good problem to have, right? Chris Wannett gets the dub. Chris Wannett gets the dub. Alec Peruzzi takes the L. Josh Becker, no save actually, because he came in the 6th inning with a 4-run lead. The Blue Sox, thanks to a 5-run bottom of the 3rd in response to a 2-run top of the 3rd by the Bulldogs, and in maybe the wackiest way imaginable to put together a rally, no matter how capable of an offense you have. Hey, there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to win a ball game. That, as I've said, was not one of the 1,000 ways I could come up with to win it. The Bulldogs right now having a team huddle here with manager Eric Steinkraus. And it's a very young team. Hearing fans talking about them, between innings. Like, nobody's older than maybe 23 on the player roster, except for maybe like Nana Adu, who's, you know, like 80, something along there. It's a joke, kid. But the Lexington Bulldogs making it to the championship series for the first time as residents of Lexington, the second time overall, but the result in the end is the same. A sweep at the hands of the Lexington Blue Sox.
Seriously, like Jake used to go to the Blue Sox camp for like 3 weeks every summer. He just got to play in the championship. That's pretty cool. If you told me that like a little kid he got to do that, is that right?
We're taking a lot of days. Like, you tell me we were here. Was this the first ICL playoff?
This is our first non-tight wing game. This is our first time being like solidly in the playoffs.
The dogs just got so hot.
Yeah, they're right.
It's the perfect time.
You know what?
But you make John look a little bit small. It's just scary.
Oh, really?
After he's singing out the trophy.
Folks, I got to wrap this up. I haven't been able to do this in even longer. 2019 was my last ring, at least my last Blue Sox ring, and now I got a nice little 10th ring to go with the 8 I already have and the one that the woman to my left made sure I stuck around for this one. Did you ever think summer ball could be this fun, dear? Well, in the words of the OWH, Danny Graham wins the next practice. So with that said, there's been a presentation of LSP, something for everyone, since 2011. Copyright 2025, unauthorized redistribution of any portion of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Blue Sox or LSP is strictly prohibited. A reminder that if you want to support future LSP content, you can buy shipping shields using the link and codes on the screen or in the description. Sponsor our future content for as little as $25 an ad. Hire us to work your next live event or whatever else we can do for you on any given day. Buy some of this fabulous merchandise from the LSP store alongside some game videos by emailing yours truly. And, of course, if you're down with the sound, Linktree, Facebook, YouTube, PayPal Creator Spring, LSP37. It tastes great on a cracker. You know what else tastes great? Victory Champagne. Once again, the final score from Morelli Field at Melrose High School in Melrose, Mass. It is the Lexington Blue Sox 6 and the Lexington Bulldogs 3. The Blue Sox win the 2025 ICL Championship 3-0. For Tim Lynch, Horacio Azzarello, Katrina Good, and all my very rowdy friends here at Morelli, my name is Sam Feely, reminding you forever and always, freelance isn't free. Thanks for tuning in. Fresh for 2025. You... Yeah. Lean into it. Love you, Katrina.